Hello and welcome to Death Mute Studio. In this video I'm going to be ranking all the Spider-Man films from worst to best. I count 9 Spider-Man films in the franchise as of right now, so I'm going to rank them from 9 being the worst and 1 being the best. I won't be including Spider-Man appearances in other films like Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. If I've missed anything out, be it live action or animation, please let me know in the comments below. Let's have it. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, but I'm not really digging him as Peter Parker. And I wasn't really into the Garfield series of Spider-Man. They're not terrible films, I've seen and loved a lot worse, but I just thought The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a bit dull. Although I like Dane DeHaan as an actor, his Green Goblin was, very cringy. Electro's motivation was paper thin at best. There's a lot of decent action in there, but the film just isn't for me. The Amazing Spider-Man. The thing that bothered me about The Amazing Spider-Man is that it was too soon, and I wasn't ready to move on from Tobey Maguire. I know that's not the film's fault, but because of that, I was reluctant to give it a chance. And like I've already said, I like Garfield as Spider-Man, but he seems too cool to play Peter Parker. The film isn't all bad, it's just, I found it a bit dull. Spider-Man 3. I watched this for the first time before going to watch No Way Home, and I've got to say, I didn't think it was as bad as everyone says it is. It was very cluttered, messy, but, and bear with me now, I had a great time watching it. Emo Peter Parker is a cinematic gift that just keeps on giving. I can understand people calling it the worst Spider-Man film, but I can't, because I can't truly hate anything that made me smile as much as Spider-Man 3 did. Spider-Man Far From Home. It was alright, Jake Gyllenhaal was entertaining, the visual effects were top notch and the film had some really cool scenes, but it never felt that any of the characters were in any danger. There just didn't seem to be any real threat or stakes. Spider-Man Homecoming. Michael Keaton was fun to watch, and I thought Tom Holland was great as both Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I really appreciated not having to go through another retelling of the Spider-Man origin story. After 5 films, I think we all got the gist. Spider-Man. The OG. The film where I fell in love with Kirsten Dunst and Willem Dafoe. I was very confused back in 2002. And if I can remember correctly, I think this was the first Sam Raimi film I'd ever seen. So Spider-Man was a film of many firsts for me. I'll be honest, it's not aged very well, but I don't care. Spider-Man 2. For a long time, this was my favourite Spider-Man film. A very long time. Tobey Maguire was fantastic in his return to the role. Alfred Molina's performance as Doc Ock is still one of my favourites in a comic book film. And that scene in the operating theatre is Sam Raimi to the nines. It's a f***ing great film. Spider-Man No Way Home. I wasn't expecting No Way Home to be as good as it was. I thought it'd be as messy as Spider-Man 3. I tell myself there's no way they can juggle that many characters, let alone the villains. I've never been so happy to be so wrong. No Way Home is an incredible achievement. The other Tom Holland Spider-Man films lacked stakes and seemed to be too much of a breeze. But No Way Home had high stakes, sacrifice and heartbreak. Not only was it visually stunning, but also highly emotional. It stuck the landing so well that it managed to improve on all the films that came before it, and made us look back fondly on films that we didn't even like all that much, which were the Amazing Spider-Man films. I don't know of any other film that's managed to do that. You'd think it'd be nailed on to be my favourite Spider-Man film, but it's not. Spider-Man Into the SpiderVerse. Now this film proper blew my tits off when I first saw it. The animation, the colours, the characters, the cast, the story, the music, it's all spot on perfect. The animation particularly deserves to be spoken about in the highest regard. The Spider-Verse is so packed visually that I'd be hard pressed to think of a Western film that is animated better. I love the character of Miles. He's now my second favourite Spider-Man, The first obviously being Spider-Man Noir. Nick Cage for life, yo. So that's my ranking of all the Spider-Man films from worst to best. Let me know how you'd rank the Spider-Man films in the comments section below and on social media. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, it will help me out massively. But most importantly, and as ever, thanks for watching. Ta-ra.